There we go. Hey, Wolfie. Yeah, figured I'd get some streaming in. Alright. I need you, and I need you. Hello, Pablo. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that I last streamed on Picardo, so it was streaming on Picardo for a few seconds. And then I noticed that it wasn't showing up on my Twitch dashboard, so I switched over. Oh, you're rereading Creamfield? I know, I'm sorry. Why the hell did it flag goof? What the hell? There we go. Anyway, hope everyone's doing alright. I am taking the time to get back into working on my own stuff. And I'll work on the Patreon winner stuff during the weekend to get those out of the way. And then after that, it's pretty much, you know, do whatever I want for those tiers. Did I see what happened to Beck in the... I don't think so. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah, I saw that a while back. Or a few, when it came out. Not sure if there's anyone that I've been wanting to draw in particular yet. But I do have like a list of characters that I've wanted to draw, so I can always look at that. But it'll be more about variety, honestly. And it's not like I won't return to characters I've drawn before, but I definitely want to spread it out more. Because like in the Fat Lovers Club case, female Skylar has gotten in like 3 times already. So I definitely want to break that up. Yeah, I don't have to do that. I can just leave that alone. I was thinking of drawing Queen Bee. I was thinking of doing another drive, but it's gonna involve, but it was going to involve Luna and Queen Bee, and I was thinking of doing two different ones where it's Luna versus Queen Bee, and you have one drive that's basically funding Luna getting fat, and then the other one funding Queen Bee getting fat. And if they both get funded, then I'll combine both versions together into its like own thing as like a bonus. So that's what I was thinking of doing. Well, yeah, when it came out, the Dai Young had to because of copyright nonsense. But I saved that video like a long ass time ago. At least I think I did. I should have it. If I don't, I know where to find it. But yeah, it sucks that the record label is like bullshitting with like, well, if she's contributing, then you know they get a piece of that or whatever the case may be. It's stupid. It sucks that she basically can't sing or else it becomes a legal thing. Hello, Amorous. But yeah, if I do whenever I start doing drives again, because I'm taking a break from them for now. But when I start doing them again, I was thinking of having the next one be a double thing. So whichever, if either one of them gets funded or both get funded, and then I'll combine them together. Because that could be fun. The Living Doll collection. Well, if you had gotten, I think the Venus one was available. Was it? Let me check. Was it Venus's? Yeah. Oh no, this was a different thing. Never mind. Yeah, Venus's. Well, assuming you got the Venus pick, whoever got that for the Underground Collectors, yeah, that was a Living Doll piece of artwork. Although I labeled it as limbless sex toy, according to this. Haven't seen any other seen books about. Well, like the whole point of gluttony is not necessarily weight gain. Weight gain is just a after effect type of thing. It's like that's just, you know, the results of indulging. The whole point of gluttony is to, like, you know, go crazy, like, you know, you just indulge on the things that you're not supposed to or harmful or whatever, whether it be drugs, alcohol, food, whatever. It's not about fat, and I think that's what people are getting confused over. Like fat can be part of it, sure, but that's not supposed to be the point. Like, there's nothing wrong with adding weight gain to it, but like, people shouldn't assume that gluttony just has to do with characters being fat. And like, even if that was the case, and Viv just decided, you know, not to make any of the characters fat, I mean, that's just more ammo for weight gain artists anyway. So there wasn't really a problem anyway to begin with. So it's like, okay, none of the characters are fat. That just means more ammo for us. So I think it's a dumb thing for people to be pissed off about in that scenario. Because at that point, that's just, you know, Viv's personal artistic choice. Okay, so did I draw all the stuff I needed for him? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. Good. Alright, now to the oh so fun coloring and shading parts. Yeah, exactly. Like the moment I saw Queen Bee, she was like telling everybody to indulge, and then she made that taco huge. Like if you watch that moment frame by frame when she makes the taco big, she crams that shit right down the guy's throat, and there's just a gigantic bulge in his throat. And I was like, oh shit, he is like dude, whatever you need to do to make that happen, you better hurry. And all that entire episode was doing was pressing buttons. So I was just like, okay, obviously none of the characters are getting fat as far as I can tell. I mean, who knows, that might happen in some future episode, assuming that can even happen again. But like, you know, technically Kesha doesn't need to sing for every time the character shows up. So if she's able to just voice the character, that'll be helpful too. But let's just assume the character could come back. You know, there's no reason why Viv can't decide to make some characters fat at that point if she even decides to make it happen. And if not, you know, more for us to mess around with when it comes to weight gain art. So I didn't see it as a bad thing, honestly. I was just like, okay, I'll do it. It's like I'll do it myself. I do like the lava lamp aesthetic or choice for the design, so I'm definitely gonna make sure to keep that as a thing. Because I saw people mostly just drawing it as per pattern rather than the lava lamp, and I was like, no, make it the lava lamp. What do I need for you? I think the top layer should be fine, so page 11. The tag team on Luna with IHHAT. That would be fun for IHHAT, Queen Bee, and Gluttony from my series to be in a picture. That would be fun. Maybe I'll do that in the future. Alright. Andy, I need you. Guess I'll color his nose too. Close Discord. I don't need that open right now. Yeah, I know I keep reading comments out of order, but yeah, when people hear the word gluttony, they just automatically assume that means, you know, fat characters or weight gain. So it's understandable, but like people need to chill out about that. It's kind of like how whenever there's a fat character, people assume that the character would think about sumo, for example. So it's just one of those situations where it's just like you just gotta roll with whatever people are thinking. And then ultimately, you know, just do what you want to do. If you don't want to draw that stuff, then don't. With that said, I am a bit miffed over what the hell is going on with Skull Rolls. With the current developers, I will say. Like, I know some of the developers were the people that originally worked on the game, but even then, I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? So at the moment, they are censoring certain scenes of the story mode to remove certain content that they believe is sensitive, as well as changing or removing the armbands from Parasol's egrets team, just because it makes them look like Nazis, which isn't the point, because they're not even villains. But they're doing that, like for Philia, for example, like the scene after she gets groped by that one dude and she attacks him, they censored the part where her skirt flares up. So they're censoring that. Big Band is having his like, because the whole point of Big Band is that he got attacked by fellow cops when he found out that they were shady, and they're removing that. They're altering that part and removing the scene where he gets beaten, because they assume it looks like police brutality, and it's like, no, if anything, that's fucking RoboCop. I don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah, and basically they recently posted that they were gonna be in Evo, and that's when all the fans, including myself, realized, like, oh, they're catering to Evo, because I guess at a recent Evo, probably last year, I don't know when this happened, but I guess the people or the Dead or Alive game got removed from Evo when some risque stuff happened, I guess, or at least 2 women who were cosplaying were doing something that had to do with Dead or Alive, and it got removed from Evo. Yeah, their core value bullshit. And so now, because Skullgirls is going to be at Evo, they're censoring parts of the game. They're censoring parts of the game that don't even make sense to censor, because it's not like we're playing story mode at Evo anyway. So that makes no sense. And so they're doing all that, and which is weird, because Skullgirls has shown up at Evo before, whether it be on the main stage or not, and that's never been a problem. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. It's probably because Sony, that if I remember right, I think Sony bought Evo, if I remember correctly. So that could be the fucking reason, because, you know, Sony has been all pissy about having mature content with their games as of late. So that could be a reason. But yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit, and it makes no sense for the developers to be changing that. And it makes me wonder if that's why the creator of Skullgirls no longer works with them anymore, or like he left the team. Like, I wonder if that was one of the reasons. Because as far as I know, he left due to creative differences. But I'm curious on if that's one of the reasons. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not the main reason. At least it might. I mean, I'm taking a wild guess here. But yeah, I wonder if that was one of the reasons. Like, they were probably asking him to censor his stuff or remove content. Because that's another thing. Apparently, they're removing the artwork as well from the art book of the game, which is very stupid. One of the announcers is also being removed, which that one, okay, there's 2 things with that one. That one, I understand that, you know, with the whole Russian stuff that's going on right now, that they want to steer clear from that pack, because the announcer is the Soviet announcer, so they're probably thinking on that end. But then also the person who voiced the Soviet pack, or Soviet announcer, he was the, you know, programmer of the game and all that, Mike Z. And I know that they might be using that as an excuse to try to take the voice pack out. But either way, it's still stupid to remove it, because that was a pack that was funded by the fans when Skullgirls was doing their fundraising stuff, or their crowdfunding stuff. So them removing that makes no sense to begin with, because that was stuff that we paid for. We made that happen. So it's just more and more and more and more and more bullshit. No, well, it could have been the allegation for the voice back, but still, like, the voice back has nothing to do with the allegation, so I don't think it should be removed regardless of that situation. But still, that was something that the fans paid for. So it's like, what, we paid to get something into the game, and now it's being removed. And granted, they could replace that stuff to make up for it. I don't know if that's really the right answer, because I feel the answer should just be, hey, have a toggle to take these certain problematic things out, if you think, and then, you know, let us be able to have it in the game still. But the fact that they're removing some stuff from the art book, that's when it's getting worse, because it's like, wait, you're removing stuff from the game, okay, I mean, I'm still pissed off about that, but then you're also removing it from the art book. And then from what I hear or heard, they were changing details in the art book, like, you know, with the whole armband stuff. They were removing it from the art book to make it look like it was already there in the book, like that was already a part of the concept art. And then they're also removing artwork that depicts the armbands and stuff like that, like the fan art or artwork done by the creator and stuff. And it's just like, why? None of this is helping them. And it's gotten to the point where, like, YouTube channels that I watch just to, like, listen to whatever are starting to talk about it, and I'm like, oh, fuck no. And I'm like, why is Skullgirls going through bullshit again? It's like every time there's something good coming, I was like, well, here comes the bad to balance that out. And it's like, man, we couldn't just keep making more characters for the game, huh? We just had to toss in more nonsense. And the sad part is, this is self-inflicted. It wasn't even like people were complaining about any of this shit. This is just something the developers decided to do, or possibly higher ups. Like, I don't know if it was like the developers themselves choice, but still, it's like, guys, we already have it bad as it is. Why are you making it worse? Or we already have a difficult time with the game. Why are you making it worse? So yeah, I'm very curious on where this will go. And I'm gonna change this back. But yeah, like, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. And it still peeves me where people assume, like, oh, well, this character is blank age and that's bad. And it's like, this is fictional bullshit, guys. None of this matters. You guys are trying to alter something that literally has no effect on the real world. And you're literally just screwing us over for nothing. And people can't seem to fucking tell the difference between real and fake, which basically becomes the result here. Because every time people complain about that shit, it's like, it's not the same thing. It's like, please do not get the two confused. Because if you are getting those two things confused, then all you're doing is helping actual predators. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's been going on. Not to drag this down any further. But yeah, God help me if I ever have to censor my stuff for whatever nonsensical reason. It's like if I have to censor something, it'll have to be for a very specific reason. And it'd have to make sense for me to do that. Is your shirt like this? No, it is not. Okay. But I would prefer to keep my artistic integrity and not change things just because people can't seem to handle mature artwork. And that's when I realized I did it right on his shirt. I'll have to change that. Sorry that your power has been a bit of an issue. Let's change this. Oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll be able to find a better place in the future when you're able to. Or find some way of fixing your situation. Could try it for years. Yeah, it's probably going to be a struggle for a while. But don't give up. Keep trying. Okay. I'm not going to change any of that. Oh. Is the roof getting fixed, or is your location permanent, or your new location permanent? Was all your stuff taken out of the old place, or was it just left there and you had to deal with it? What stuff you can? Oh, damn! I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, hopefully there'll come a time where you're able to improve on your situation. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to not dwell on it. But still, I do hope that things improve. Just hang in there. And hello, Alex. Yeah, whatever you're able to do, just try to build off of that. Like if it's like a money thing, then you just have to try not to spend more than you need to and just rack it up until you're able to go elsewhere. Okay. Oh, god damn it. How did I miss this too? Oh, I just realized. I was like, that sleeve seems really short for some reason. And I'm like, well, that's because you didn't color this part, idiot. There we go. Can't wait for more Kamen Rider tomorrow. That shit's getting crazy. But they're almost done. Geats is almost over. Aside from like movies and specials or whatever comes up. Everything's problems. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, damn. Honestly, driving isn't too difficult. It's just, you know, understanding spacing yourself between other drivers, signaling. Obviously, don't speed. Making sure you look at your cameras. Look at your mirrors when changing lanes and backing up and all that. Like for the most part, a lot of it's really easy, but you just have to understand the rules of the road and all that. So hopefully you'll be able to study up on that so you can try to get your license if possible. But then, of course, you know, you need to get everything else. But yeah, hopefully your situation can improve in some way. Oh, thank you for the follow, Elijah Heldridge. I think I'm spelling that right. Elijah Heldridge 02. I was like, I did do all that, right? Yeah. Oh, forgot. It's a couple times over. Yeah, it's hard for me to really say like what you can do in a situation like that. Best I can say is whatever opportunities come up, try to take them if you can. and then use those to work your way out of it. But yeah, it's a good thing this character is kicking in the right door. And shit, I've had this character planned to show up in this comic since like when IHHAT 2 started. So like what, 2016, 2017? Whenever the hell I was working on this at first. And finally getting over to having him show up. And it's funny because he's appeared once before in like another piece of art. Make sure I got everything else. I do need to draw a version of his artwork for my art style. Let's do this. Night with Luna comic. I'll have to reread it again. I don't know if it's over yet, but it's all right. I don't really feel much for it. Like, it's not awful, but it's just kind of like not super amazing either. I think one of the things that also gets me is where people have Luna constantly calling Moxie fatty, and it's kind of like it's too like one note, where it's like, okay, it's not the only thing she's ever said. It's like that's the only insult people seem to focus on with her when it comes to him. But she definitely called him fatty like way too many times in that comic. It was like almost every other sentence. Story-wise, it's like whatever, because I've seen a lot of fan comics of her and him banging out. So I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. Like, it's not awful or anything. I'm just like, okay. There's gotta be 82 pages. I'll have to look to see if the one I saw was the updated one. Alright, let me take a look real quick. See if it's been posted or not. There's that comic. I'll have to come back to that one later. Looks like it's at 81 from where I'm looking at. Hello, happy Friday. But yeah, it's just kind of like I just think like it's kind of like whatever at this point. But the comic wasn't bad, in my opinion. I do like the idea that Moxie just has a giant dick, and that's like been most people's interpretation of Moxie. Yeah, I like that Luna is being explored more, because there's been obvious personal issues that she's had due to being in the adoption place and almost being just tossed out because she was aging out. Because she was only like what, a few months or so from being 18 and just being kicked out. Yeah, maybe big dicks isn't the norm for imps, but there's always the case where you have characters where you have one with a big dick, and then there's always like the submissive character who has the small dick. But you could always turn that around, have a submissive character have a giant dick, which is technically Moxie, but Moxie has the tendency of being assertive when provoked. But in like a generic stance, I usually see submissive characters having a smaller dick. But it can go either way, either way. My only complaint with the recent episode was that I kind of wish Luna had a little bit more of a build-up to wanting to go back into the party. Because it was just like, she wanted to leave, then the two guys show up, and because one of them was a wolf and he called her a hottie, she just decides, hey, I want to give it another shot. These people seem to know you, please. And I was like, really? That's all it took? There wasn't much else to it? Because she was like in tears and stuff, and just like not in the mood, and then that's all it took for her to want to go back. So I just feel that there should have been a little bit more of a build up to her wanting to go back in. Yeah, and who knows? It could have, I mean, because obviously that episode was supposed to link up with episode 7, so it's possible that stuff got changed due to what happened. Yeah, like, because like when she first gets to the party and she comes across that one hellhound who knew her, I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit more to that, because it's like, oh, okay, this character knows Luna, let's explore that, and then it just immediately gets passed up. So hopefully that character comes back so we can get some more backstory on Luna. With a cock that big, you can have my full consent to fuck my daughter. Knowing Blitz, he'd probably still get all protective about it. But yeah, like, but yeah, I feel like there was like some tweaks to the episode that could have made it better, but overall, I still enjoyed it. I love the fact that the cotton candy was like making everybody high as fuck. And even Queen Bee kind of mentioned, she's like, well, I was hoping to get into so-and-so's drug stash. So clearly she wanted the party to be even more crazy than it already was. I do kind of wish that they were able to go deeper into mature content, because I know that they can only do so much on YouTube. And it wouldn't surprise me if their videos are getting demonetized, or at least given the yellow $sign, whatever the hell you want to call that. I think it's called demonetized. No, because that would mean that it wasn't getting it. I think that's restricted. But I wish they could go further, but I understand the degrees they can. So hopefully in the future they'll have like more in line to what they're going with and they'll just have to put that on like Patreon or any other site that can handle that kind of content. Have a good 4th of July. Shit, where I live, it's always 4th of July because there's always people shooting fireworks like almost every week, like regardless of the month. So 4th of July is just like, oh, okay, they can finally blow their load. Yeah, like fireworks for me is like throughout the year, and then 4th of July is just them getting to do it all at once. Secret smut video. Yeah, I'm already looking into like relearning how to do animation, at least in Clip Studio, because the stuff I did was just me kind of winging it. So I want to go deeper into that, so that way I can try to do more. And that's when I realized this door should work this way, but fuck it, I'm just gonna leave it that way because I don't care now. But once I brush up on animation stuff, I want to do like some new GIFs, and then that'll be like some little exclusive thing. Maybe not like a full animation video unless I can pull that off, but if not, then you know, just something fun for everybody. Did you get some of that Canadian smoke too? Maybe. Shit, I don't know. What did you say? Oh, yeah, but yeah. Okay, now I need to do this. Been on this towel for quite a while. Oh, it's just like the door is not where the hinges should be. Like it's over here, and here's like the door frame. It's not technically a big deal, but it's like enough for me to be like, do I care enough to fix it? And is anyone else gonna care enough that I fix it? I'm sure there'll be one person like, oh my god, they fucked up that door, and then they didn't fix it. And then that part of my head would be like, hey, we should fix that. I probably will fix it, I don't know. We'll see when I get there. I mean, all it really is just move this black line, or make a black line here, and then erase those. That's kind of it. That's fixing it, technically. So I'll probably just do that. Let me just color him real quick. Alright, let's do this now before I decide not to. So you, black line, this, and that is not where the black line should be. Let's try that again, but this time not stupid. There we go. It was on the wrong layer. There we go. I heard there is a forest fire, but I don't think I'm near that area. Well, I mean, obviously not. I'm nowhere near Canada. But who knows? Maybe some of that shit drifted over here. I would not be surprised if that was the case. So this might be a strange question, but what are your thoughts on people making chatbot AIs based on IOCs? I find it fun. I don't have a problem with it. If anything, that's just a like whether it be my characters or anybody else's characters with using an AI chat. All I see it as is just potential to make up a future story. Like test it out in a chat, take some notes or copy it down, and paste it in like a notepad or something, and then make an original comic out of it. Just tweak whatever you need to tweak. Because I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, like I don't have a initially I don't have a problem with AI. I only have a problem when somebody just uses it raw and doesn't have any actual input, like artistic input, and just uses it as it is. So like for example with AI art, they just put in a bunch of prompts and whatever the result is the finished product. That's when I have a problem with it. If it's use the prompts, make up an image, and then you use that image as either reference or like let's just say the image looks like what you want it to look like, but it still needs some tweaks obviously for whatever is wrong with it. Then you go in and you fix it and stuff like that, like you make it an actual finished picture, then sure. But also it's also a good reference to use, because like obviously it's not going to get everything right, but it would be a good reference to jump off of, and then make the actual picture that you want to make. But using it raw and saying that's your work, that's when I have a problem with it. But using it as an actual tool, which it is, I'm completely fine with it. Like anytime I see AI art, I'm just like, oh cool, neat, reference. It's not the best reference, but it's reference. But I don't support it as somebody's actual artwork. No. And it's like, well, what if the person can't draw? And I was like, well, that's literally the point why you should learn how to draw. It makes zero sense to rely on AI to be your artist. And like using AI as like concept art is fine. Like if it's just like to have a rough idea of where you're going to go and it's not like the final product, then sure. But after that point is like, okay, either you're actually making artistic changes to the artwork, or you're using it as references or whatever it is the case may be as an actual tool. If you're not using it for that, then I don't respect it after that point. Exactly. Good starting point, not the destination. But yeah, like literally anything can be can be used as reference. So just boils down to how you use the tools. I need your eyes. Thank you. I'll go back for the teeth out of it. Yeah, I hate it when they say like where it's like, oh my god, it's like, oh well, it's learning, and it's like, look, all you're doing is giving it very specific things to look for, and then go from that. It's like when that one guy was making artwork from I think it was Junji Ito, if I remember correctly. He was using Junji Ito's artwork as the reference for AI, and then made a whole bunch of artwork from it, and then tried to take credit for it. And then everyone got pissed about that, especially because, like, didn't he pass away? Junji Ito. Pretty sure he did. No, I don't think it may not have been Junji Ito, but it was like one. It was like another really well-known artist. But yeah, like it was an artist who passed away. I know I have it saved on like Twitter somewhere, but it was an artist who passed away, and then somebody was making like a bunch of AI art with using their artwork as a reference, and then tried to pass that off as their artwork. It's like, oh, be sure to credit me for blah 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 blah, and everyone's like, dude, all you did was just steal so and so's artwork and try to pass it off as your own by using AI, and it pissed everybody off. It was so disrespectful, because like the guy had like been dead for like what 2-3 days or some shit, and then they did that. Exactly. Yeah, it's not the AI making artwork from scratch. It's being told what to look for. And like I know the argument is like, well, people look at reference too, and it's like, yes, but the difference there is that people are actually, you know, teaching themselves how to even draw the reference if they're able to, because you know you can have artists who can copy styles. But like, it's not just insert a bunch of keys, there you go, here's the thing. Especially when it only takes the AI like a few minutes to make the artwork, whereas it takes artists several hours, depending on how difficult the piece is. So there's that too. And I know there was that case where somebody won a contest with AI art, but what people don't know about that is that was in like a small town. It was like a small town event, and that was what they won. And plus, they didn't know what they were looking at. They didn't know that it was AI, because obviously people who don't know that stuff don't know what to look for when it comes to that. But yeah, it was just a whole bunch of nonsense, and it's really messed up that people are trying to do that. And I know it's been an issue on Ink Bunny for a bit, because some people started making accounts and are using AI, and then suddenly their artwork is like most popular. Well, has been on the front page as popular. Not every picture, but they have been taking some spots. But at this point, it just kind of boils down to just, you know, artists are not going to have an issue with it, because they'll know how to, you know, have their audience promote themselves and stuff like that. AI can only go so far, especially for people using AI. It's like if they're expecting to make money off of AI, that's going to be somewhat difficult. Because if people know it's AI, they have less reason to want to pay for it. There might be some specific cases, like, I don't know, maybe a character design or something, but even then, it's like, well, you don't technically need to buy that either. But yeah, I would say trying to make money off of AI would be difficult in most cases. I'm sure there's some people who are paying for somebody to use an AI bot to make a character or something, or make a art piece or something, but if you want something specific, then you have to go to the place to get it. I would be very curious on how AI figures out my fucking chicken scratch artwork. Because my shit is not that consistent. Oh yeah, Hollywood is definitely gonna abuse the shit out of that. It's like, oh, we can use AI to go a whole bunch of concept art. I know there was one project where it was like a fully AI and animated movie or something, or short or something like that. Because I know they did that with Corridor Digital. They made like a short skit using nothing but AI generated images. But that made sense. Like that was like what the goal was, to see if they could make a movie, like a short film out of that, because they were doing like poses and stuff and then just making it artistically unique. So that made sense. But in terms of like companies using it, they're just gonna use it to try to cut corners. I know, right? If I've reached a point where people are trying to use AI for my stuff, then that just tells me I'm doing something right. I mean, I'm already at the point where people are leaking some of my stuff, so I must be some form of popular. One day I'll be a poppy fur though. I'm not in that space yet. At least I don't think I am. Shit. But yeah, I'll get there when I get there. But yeah, I definitely want to start moving things along. So getting through all those commissions was definitely a good start to all that. But yeah, like I said, if I do another drive, I want to do a joint one, or a semi-joint one, where it's Luna and Queen Bee. So on one drive it'll be just to make Luna fat, and then the other drive will be just to make Queen Bee fat. And if both of them get funded, then I'll combine both versions together, so like both of them are getting fat simultaneously, and then make like a bonus narrative from that. Andy stares into your soul. Yeah, it's like, look at him. It's like, doggo's looking at you. Hope you remember us when Disney will not hire me for the Disney After Dark. If Disney was ballsy enough to do that, I will be surprised. Like, they have all the ability to do it too, and they're just too chicken shit to do it because they want to uphold the whole family-friendly bullshit. And honestly, it's probably the better choice for them because people are already making risque artwork of their characters. All that's doing is just making people more interested in their characters. So why bother making their own adult artwork or adult stuff when people or where fans are already promoting them for free? Exactly. Okay, next. But yeah, like all adult artwork has ever done is just make fans more interested in the characters that are being shown. Because I'm sure there's like a number of characters where I'm like, oh, this is where this character is from. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen that character's ass. It's like all it's doing is just promoting the characters. Because after a certain point, you're like, all right, I've been seeing this character forever. Where are they from? And then you venture and look into the characters and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it is what happened with Overwatch. But right now, Overwatch is having an identity crisis. I guess to a similar degree, so is Skullgirls, but we'll see where the hell that goes. You, I need to see your hands. Thank you. Out of context, yeah. Well, right now it just looks like from the reason because from like the page before this, it's someone knocking on his door. So without knowing what the hell they're talking about, it just looks like this guy's like, oh, it's like FBI, open up, boom. And for some reason they got pizza and shit. I don't know. I'm just talking. It's like, we know you have a mail order bride. Okay, sorry, I got all the stuff on her. But yeah, good to finally get back into making these. Sorry it took so damn long. It took way longer than I intended. But all it reminded me of was don't do that again. It's like, what did we learn? You can't prove it, waves in background. How he explained his wife to his parents. Well, honestly, depending on how late he ends up telling him, it's just like, well, I met a girl and we got married. Kind of depends on how often he even talks to his parents. I could see Andy's mom being cute with Emerald. She's like, oh my god, my boy has a girlfriend, or has a wife now. It's like, I'm so happy. Well, I mean, they could always hide that they were probably dating first and then they get married. Like, officially. So that's not an issue. But Andy will have to explain why there's a half-naked woman in his house. Well, I mean, let's be fair, he doesn't have to explain any of that. Or his apartment, I should say, not house. He does not own a house. Yes, I ate fine, thank you. It'll be interesting how I handle the next page, because finally I get to show off this, well, reintroduce you guys to this character since he did appear in one other victory. It's honestly not hard to figure out who he is, or which one he is, once I start coloring him. Because he's on that cruise ship commission, or page, or artwork that I did of the adoptables that I got. Yeah, I'll have to make more emotes. Okay, we should be good. Oh, I forgot to color you. Just noticed that. Noms her head out. Yes, I eat through photosynthesis. But yeah, hopefully Emerald will also be able to play off of the situation, so that way Andy doesn't look crazy or come off as being bad. And eventually we're gonna have to have Andy hit that. Like, you know she wants to sleep. I mean, she already wants to bang him. But we gotta help the boy get out of his shell. It's like, fuck that bug. Fuck the bug. Oh, in my case. I mean, I'm technically all the above. Because I made Viro first. My character design didn't come until like way later. I didn't even think about making one for me until way after the fact. was not concerned about that. Like, let's see. I don't think I made my persona until like I want to say 5 years after I started making my own characters. So like that was like way after the fact. Bug the fuck. But yeah, that's gonna be Andy's dilemma, getting home from work and Emerald just being naked on his bed, waiting for him. It's like, woman, you are not helping. Give him his breakfast blowjob. Oh, Viro wanting to kick my ass? Yeah, of course. He's always wanted to do that. Only because I killed his girlfriend or whatever bullshit. He brought her back anyways, it doesn't matter. Now she's an ice dragon. He needs to just get over it. I say as an alternate dimension version of the universe where all my characters are real comes into play and Viro figures out how to fucking hop dimensions. Because that would be oh so special. But God help me if he can hop dimensions, and God help me if fucking Becky does it. It's like, shit, she's here, run. BB and J. P and BJ, that's what it should be called. You're a fucking plant. Yeah, there's a lot I need to expand on. I need to expand on like the plant type people, the robots, Farakeen, other social bullshit that the characters have to go through. So many short comics I want to do now because I've been thinking up other ideas. So I'm not sure how soon, but I do want to start working on the archive slash secret comics, since those will be in primarily in black and white, so they'll be less demanding. Oh, PMB. Yeah, that sounded bad. But yeah, could just see Andy be like, "Oh, thank you, Emerald." And he just sits down, and finally just lets her have her way with him. I'll probably put that in like once things start picking up, where it just cuts to him like just head on table as he's getting sucked off by her underneath it, and his breakfast is just like right next to him because he can't focus. But he'll be sure as hell spry afterwards. Yeah. She'll condition him a bit. But ultimately, he can basically do whatever he wants with her. And she'll be okay with it. He should be lucky that he was able to get her despite not having a lot of money, and like the other characters didn't just decide to kill him off or something for all the effort that they were going through. It's like, what the fuck, this guy barely has any money. It's like, take the money and give him the runt. Andy will become Andrew. Yeah, after a certain point, he'll probably just be sitting there reading up on today's or on the day's news, just getting sucked off by her. And he'll be like, "Oh, hey, they're having a sale at the grocery store," and then she just pops her head up from underneath the table with her face covered in jizz. And she's like, "Oh, I'll be sure to go to the grocery store later." Yeah, she just swallows a load. I don't know. At this point, I'm just talking. But I definitely want one of those situations to happen. It's like, look, you knew what you were getting into once you realize what the hell of stories this was going to be, or at least the way that I do things. That was not the color we wanted. There we go. Yeah, he's not like, he's not assertive. He's not quite submissive, but he's, borderline submissive. Like, it wouldn't take much to push him over. But he has at least some self-respect. Is this gonna be one chapter? No, this is gonna be 3. If I can make it shorter, then I will. But the initial idea is 3. But I do plan to pick up the pace as soon as I stop fucking up on fucking these goddamn line art. I don't know why I keep missing this shit. Anyway, but yeah, I want to pick up the pace, get shit going, and then we get to more fun stuff. Did we get everything? Looks like it. Honestly, it's always just the coloring that takes a while. Everything else is a little faster. Basically what she does is she has the ability to hypnotize people and basically get whatever information she wants out of them. Her power doesn't work on everyone though, so if they have like a strong enough will, then they can resist her. But she also has the ability to just brain drain people, to just, erase their memories by eating, or erase their minds by eating them, by devouring them. That's why her arm keeps twitching, because there's something on her arm or in her arm, or possibly is her arm, that can eat memories. Yeah, she took his money. Take care. Have a good day. She eats him like a toad. I mean, she could. I could have her do that in a similar fashion. But but yeah, she basically like depending on the situation, she'll devour memories. She doesn't exactly like doing that because it makes the job a little harder. Because then she's working with a blank slate, and it's really hard to like properly program them. Because it'd be very easy to mess up. But in cases like Andy, all she has to do is hypnotize him into doing stuff, and he'll pretty much obey because he's not strong-willed. But yeah, this stream was random. I didn't initially plan on doing it. I just kind of felt like doing it. So I don't know how long I'll stream for, but just wanted to put something up. Be like, hey guys, I'm working on actual stuff now. But I'll still work on the Patreon stuff this weekend, so I want to get those done. Hopefully on Saturday. Hopefully I can just get everything done. Shouldn't be too difficult because all it is 3 picks for Patreon or Subscribe Star. I was debating on making an OnlyFans just in case I needed to, so maybe I will. I'll probably do it just to have something. It'll pretty much just be the same shit that I'm already doing. But better to have it than not. I'll just have to look through their policies and blah 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 blah. Okay. We're getting there. I do want to try to do stuff in 3D as well, because I have Blender, but I need to look at tutorials and learn how to do stuff. Because like I've done 3D before in like Maya, but if I'm gonna use Blender, then I need to learn how to do some stuff. Becky themed OnlyFans. If I seriously did that, would anybody actually be interested in that? Or like just pinups of all of my female characters? But I mean, like that's not really any different than what it would be on Patreon and Subscribestar. But I don't know. Like again, like I would say if I made an OnlyFans, it'd be more of a backup account. And I just upload it or update it with whatever. I don't know, we'll see. I'll probably just do it just for the sake of doing it. Because it's better for me to than not. And I need to put a line on her thumb. Should be good. But yeah, if I do learn 3D and 3D animation, then I'm sure some of you would probably be interested of a thick Becky doing some stuff in 3D. If you're into that, you know, just saying. I would say the only stuff that would probably need work is if I try to do weight gain in 3D, because I would definitely need to learn how other people are tackling that. Because on one end, obviously, you're just making the model bigger and all that, but after a certain point, you have to tweak the actual body type. So that way it makes sense. And I've seen it done right. I just need to practice. So that's going to be my goal coming up, is to put in the time for the stuff that I want to do. Washing a car with a disapproving glare. Well, I mean, there's always reference, but then if I'm gonna try to do that with like a mocap thing, that's gonna be expensive as fuck. So that's gonna be a fucking pipe dream until I somehow become popular. Like, I mean, that shit ain't happening unless my Patreon does better. But it'll be a nice goal to try to strive for. It's like, alright, I learned 3D, now I learned how to mocap. Guess we can do some looter shit now. It's like, come with me on this magical journey. Okay. I think we're good. Make sure I got everything. Ready the money catch? I wish. I'll get there someday. I just gotta crawl before I can run. But I'll keep doing my best. Okay, next. I believe this is the same color, yeah. I forgot the line on her eyes. I will do that in a moment. PNG tuber. Yeah, if I can, I'll update the PNG to live 2D or CG if I can. Like I said, baby steps. We'll get there. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but we'll try. Can't promise anything, but I will make the effort to get there. You. Would that include the nun Becky? Of course. Like if I end up accomplishing certain things, I will do everything in my power to make the loot stuff that I normally would make anyway. Whether it be 2D or 3D. Thibault in motion. Yeah, like I just have a I'll just have motion capture and just have like a church setup and just to start talking about random nonsense for the Thibault. And then there you go. Like we'll have sexy Sundays, and that'll be our mass. It's like, all right, is everybody here? Okay, let's go over the current events. First up, announcements. And I'll just make up random fucking bullshit. It's like, oh well, so and so moved their car because it's going to get towed if you do not. Like, remember, you gotta park in the appropriate areas. I don't know. I'll just be making up shit. Oh, is Vaughn my Sona? I guess technically yes, because he's supposed to represent me as like the author of the world, other of the universe for my characters and all that. Because he's basically their god. So he's like me, but not entirely. Like he doesn't. His personality doesn't entirely reflect mine. Like he's not just like, oh, like, you know, go for like let's go for the weight gain stuff. Like he's not like that. He doesn't have a problem with weight gain stuff. He'll just make it happen. But he's not like super energetic. He's more of a make it and see what happens type of person. So like if he's interested, he would just be like, oh, a world where this or a story where this character puts on a lot of weight and I don't know, goes through life trying to find a relationship or something, then that will happen. So he's more interested in like a domino effect or a butterfly effect sort of observation. Like he won't always manipulate events to happen. He just wants to see where it goes. And like whatever choices people make. And see where those paths take them. So like multiple timelines is interesting to him. Sounds like a voice on airport PA intercom. Yeah, if I can, I'll try to if I ever get that far, I'll try to look into those voice changer thingies because I've looked into them before, but voice changers are interesting because they do have a bit of delay, so that way the voice come out as whatever it is you tweaked it to sound like. So that'll be fun if I can pull that off. But I'd have to try to find one that's free because so far the only one that I'm aware of is a paid subscription thing. Or I can always just use the AI voice thingies. I'll just have to have one try to get the correct voice that I'm looking for. So once things pick up, I will attempt to do stuff like that. Obviously, I ain't gonna be doing that anytime soon. Maybe the voice thing, since it might be an easier thing to do, but other than that, everything else is sitting on the back burner until I can get further along. But we'll get there, hopefully someday, maybe. Hopefully once I start cranking out comic pages again. Are we good? We're good. Now I need your eyes. And then your collar and shirt. I'll probably stay on for like another 15 minutes or so. Flight attendant Becky. That would be a fun comic where it's like just a small short of a character who's on like an airline, or like, you know, he's already on this trip and he sees like a hot air attendant or a flight attendant, and then, you know, probably tries to go jerk off in like the restroom or something, and then she follows him in or something, or whatever crazy scenario I decide on. And here's a zoom in of Emerald's eyes. Didn't intend to get this close, but here we are. Although, to be fair, I should probably just back up. Save me some time. There we go. I see you, Zap. Okay. Slowly getting through this. And then the background is going to be a pain in the ass. Well, maybe not too much. Kind of depends on what I make important. Because technically I don't need to keep showing the background. I just need to establish where they are. And then the rest can technically be a void. Eye fetish. I mean, I can make that a thing. After watching interspecies reviewers, I'm pretty sure I can make that fun. And if you haven't seen that series, it is a magical time. It's like if you need references or ideas, just watch or read that series. Oh yeah, anything can be a fetish. It's not hard. Just boils down to execution. Interspecies reviewers. It was an anime that was #1 on my anime list, but they got butthurt because it overtook Full Metal Alchemist, and so they removed the reviews even if they were legit. Because mine was legit because I've read the book and I watched all of the anime, and they still took my review down because they assumed it was just part of a movement to increase the ranking for the show. So with that knowledge, you know that the rankings on my anime list are rigged. Because I think for the longest time they refused for Full Metal Alchemist to be lower than #1. I don't know if it got overtaken by something in legitly as of late, but that was definitely the case back then when interspecies reviewers came out. But yeah, I know it's rigged because my review was legit. Like I had actual information to talk about, and they took it off. Oh yeah, this is definitely the overly butthurt era, because like everybody is so goddamn sensitive over like the most smallest shit, and especially stuff that does not impact them whatsoever. It is like, what the hell happened? We went from 90s animation where basically anything could happen to, oh my god, is this character, I don't know, is this character pink and somehow that's a fucking offensive? And I don't get it. I do not understand what the hell happened. It's like everybody became fucking babies. Oh yeah, people have to be bored as shit. That's probably what's happening. It's like they don't know what to do with themselves. All of a sudden, all this extra shit's coming out, so people are having like fucking identity crises for whatever reason, which wasn't a problem before. And it's not like any of the stuff that's happening was relatively new. It was already a thing. It's just now it's more open, but now people are getting all pissy over it. So at this point, it's just like, okay. It's like, oh my god, you're drawing that character fat, or oh my god, this character isn't fat, or blah 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 blah. And I'm like, why are you here? It's like, if you're complaining about whatever it is you're complaining about, why are you there to complain about it? It's like, clearly you went out of your way to seek this out for this extremely niche thing, and now it's somehow a problem. Or you'll have the people who just simply don't like something and then want to ruin it for everybody else out of their own amusement. It's like, I don't like this thing. Okay, then leave it alone. Then, you know, avoid the thing you don't like. And they're like, no, I don't like it, so I don't want anybody else to have it. So it shouldn't exist. And I'm just like, Like, again, my stance is if it's not hurting anybody, then just leave it the fuck alone. But if it's actually hurting people and stuff like that, then of course do something about it. But after that point, it's like, dude, why are you here? And the sad part is, like, stuff that people weren't normally pissy about, all of a sudden they're pissy about, from like shows that had stuff like that to begin with. So it's like, oh my god, there's nudity in this show. And it's like, yeah, that's what this series is known for. It's like, well, I don't like it. They need to remove it. And I'm like, why? Exactly. I find your lack of offense offensive. Exactly. It's kind of like when Dragon Ball came out. That shit was bloody. It was pretty bloody. Like, not like super gory or anything, but like, oh man, that guy got a hole blown into type of situation. But then nowadays, there's barely any blood in it when a character gets hurt. They mostly just get some scratches and maybe a small bit of blood down their mouth, and that's kind of it. It's like, what the hell happened? Because I will say 90s and some of the early 2000s were probably like the golden age for a lot of this shit. Especially in fucking hentai. It's like, oh good lord, the shit people animated back then. I think that's why people are animating that shit now and just doing that through like Patreon or whatever, because it's like, well, everybody's being a baby about it, we'll just do it ourselves. That's why Sonic Punch has some good shit, if you've ever looked at that artist's animations. So far my favorite one is, well, I mean, there's actually a few favorites, but I definitely like the Guilmon Renamon. The one with, I think he was like a dragon and a dog guy. And then, of course, Brazen and Charizard. Those are good ones. Probably made this sleeve a little too short, but whatever. Or too long. But it's supposed to be slipping off to make it look like it's longer. I think once I'm done coloring her shirt, I'll call it for tonight. Alright, so that's it for tonight. I'm still going to work on this, but I'm going to call it for a stream. thank you everybody for coming. I will stream again on Tuesday to get the ball back rolling. But yeah, thank you for coming, everyone. I will see you guys next time, alright? You guys have a good night or good morning wherever you are. Drunk music for Becky. Thank you. Eventually I'll make like a drunk Becky Avi. But yeah, you guys take care, alright? Bye-bye.